You're listening to The Kickouts,
where after spending a week in the Canary Islands, we've decided to set up a wrestling promotion.
So, Daragh, what are we going to call that promotion?
I was thinking FPW.
What does that stand for?
Fuerteventura Pro Wrestling, maybe?
Sure. What about, I don't know, AEW? Arriba Wrestling.
Arriba Wrestling.
That has a ring to it. You can't deny that.
That does work well. I like that.
Just Arriba Wrestling. A lot of wrestling companies are named after after ways of life, like, you know, or symbols, or stuff that portrays passion, you know. Arriba Wrestling.
Arriba Wrestling.
Yeah,
I think so. I like that. I like that, yeah.
There you go. So anyway, welcome to another edition of The Kickouts, your weekly pro wrestling guide, right here on 90.3 Near FM, the EMC Podcast Network, and on all good podcasting providers. Joined by the co-promoters of Arriba Wrestling, with myself, Dave Cullen, and the only man, or the man who's so relieved that there's still a football team in Seattle, Daragh Maher. So Daragh, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing well. Happy that football is still in Seattle. It's not going the way of the basketball, thankfully, anytime soon.
Well, is there any basketball in Seattle anymore? Like, you know American sports way more than I do.
No, I didn't actually know this until it was brought up, and I did a bit of research on it. Because I didn't know Oklahoma City, I think they're called Thunder. I'd be honest, I don't know NFL that well. Used to be the Seattle Sonics.
You mean basketball, you mean?
Yeah, basketball.
No, I know that there was a team called Sonics because I saw a documentary a while ago of when Chicago Bulls team of 96, they beat the Seattle Sonics in the final to win the championship. It was the first one since when Michael Jordan came back out of retirement the first time. Yeah. In between the Space Jam movies, apparently. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I also know, because it's actually pretty interesting, that there is a ice hockey team going to be added to Seattle soon, it looks like.
That's cool.
They haven't had one before, so it looks like they're going to do it.
What do they call them, actually?
The Seattle Skaters, SS?
The Seattle Skaters.
That sounds bad, though, SS.
No.
Can't do that.
The Seattle Nirvana.
Seattle Nirvana.
No, it's kind of weird. Let's see them take.
No.
Ooh, the Seattle Jams.
Seattle... Well, like
Seattle Chains.
Well, if the Seattle Seahawks are the football team,
don't think of letter and letter like
you can do. No, I'm thinking of you can just do like the Seattle Hawks.
Maybe,
you know.
I have no idea. Like, we have to think about that more, I suppose.
Yeah, the Seattle Sailors.
The Seattle. Yes, that's not a bad call. I was going to say the. Oh, what about the? I'm trying to think of musicians here. That's why I'm first thinking the Seattle Hendrixes. The Seattle
Grungers.
Yes, perfect. So we can settled. Anyway, we're coming to you from the FM studios in the beautiful North Dublin village of Coolock, and we'll be here bringing you the latest news, results, previews, rumours and more from the world of professional wrestling. We'll be giving you all the latest news from the world of pro wrestling here and abroad, reflecting on the past week's action from WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor, and we'll be previewing events from the likes of OCT, as well as talking about our yes-nos towards the end of the show. All that to come, but first we're going to start, as always, with the news.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Also, good news, everyone.
We're going to start with news concerning New Japan Pro Wrestling, who have released their full cards for next week's King of Pro Wrestling. As expected, the main event will feature Kenny Omega defending the IWGP Heavyweight title in a triple threat match against Cody and Kota Ibushi, which is set this past Sunday at Fighting Spirit Unleashed. In the co-main event, Hiroshi Tanahashi will defend his Wrestle Kingdom 13 briefcase against Jay White. The finals of the junior heavyweight tournaments will have Kushida taking on Marty Scurll for the vacant IWGP junior heavyweight title. The junior tag titles will also be on the line as champions Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru will defend against Yushin Thunder Liger and Tiger Mask in the opening contest. Meanwhile, and this is what I'm really interested in, a new member of Los Ingobernables de Japón will make their debut on the show after a YouTube video featuring LIJ indicates that they will be bringing in a new Parrilla.
I saw that video. It's pretty classy.
It's pretty class, alright. Yeah. The mystery partner will team with Naito, Sanada and Bushi in an 8-man tag against Chaos.
You'd have to think it's whoever the person the next story's about, wouldn't you?
Quite possibly. There's a huge...
But could he be Tranquilo? I don't think so. He's quite an intense guy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe he'd be... I don't know.
I can't think of anyone else.
A special singles match between Evil and Zack Sabre Jr. has been set after Sabre has repeatedly gotten the better of Evil in a number of occasions during recent tours. Another 8-man tag will also go down, pitting members of the Bullet Club against the Bullet Club OGs, aka Firing Squad. Going back to the LIJ thing, you know, yeah, like you'd think it would be him, but he's not the most tranquilo guy out there, is he?
No, not at all.
I'm trying to think who else it would be.
I don't know.
Could be anybody.
Like, who else is doing really good on the indies at the moment?
See, it's such a vague question, like, because there's so many, or such a, or it's very subjective of what we could think of there, like, you know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I mean,
I'd love it to be him.
Yes, but I
think all fingers are pointing at him
straight away.
But I don't know.
Could be absolutely anybody though. Like, it really could.
How disappointing would it be if it isn't him though?
Well, it depends who it would
like
be.
It's that much of a tease, you know.
Well, does it have to be a junior heavyweight?
I don't think he can consider himself a heavyweight if he wants as well. Doesn't have to be junior heavyweight.
But the way I see it, he's there not instead of Tanahashi or Takahashi, but like certainly to fill the division.
The sixth member, yeah. Could it be someone changing teams?
Why, suggesting Jay White?
No, I think so. The LIJ be smarter than that.
Gato. That'd be even weirder.
No, I don't know. Like, it could be someone like, you know, it could be just one of the young lions. It's just coming true.
That could be anybody again.
Yeah.
I honestly haven't a clue. That's one of these ones you just have to wait and see.
How good would it be if just someone like Rey Mysterio rocked out? I know he's already signed a 2-year deal.
Nowhere, because he
signed a 2-year deal with WWE.
But you're LIJ anyway. Well, it could be just enjoy.
Oh!
What?
Now, this is out there, right?
Why?
But imagine if it was.
What?
Because Naito obviously has the background in Mexico.
I know who you're going to say. I was going to say it just there. Andrade Almas.
No.
Yeah, if any man from WWE, it would be him.
It would be him.
But go on.
Pentagon.
Oh, that's a good call. They're far by Pentagon. Yeah.
I could see him in LIJ.
He's Mexican.
Yeah.
There actually isn't a Mexican member of the Japan Los Ingobernables. So yeah, it's a good as cause any, but again, I have no idea other than that.
It's gonna be Alberto Del Rio.
Quite possibly. But looking at the rest of the matches here as well, I'm really intrigued about Kushida and Scurll.
Yeah.
I want Scurll to win that match personally. Like,
yeah,
you know,
same.
As for Omega, Kota and
to be fair, I would love Liger and Tiger Mask to win the tag titles.
Yeah,
as well.
Why not?
Yeah.
As for Omega, Kota and Ibushi, apparently there's been something going on between Omega and Ibushi, not exactly seeing eye to eye from my understanding.
Oh really?
Yeah. So the way I see it though, you get the feeling that because it's Cody, he didn't even have to put his title on the line in this match.
No.
So you kind of feel he slipped himself into that match a wee bit, because we'll talk about when we talk about Fight Unleashed in a while, but like Omega and Ibushi we thought, okay, let's have that rematch but we had from the G1, and Cody just kind of slid his way in. You feel he still has the eye on the prize somewhat.
that and a rematch between those two deserves a bigger stage. No disrespect to, King of Pro Wrestling.
That's a good point.
It needs a bigger stage than that.
So keep it for Wrestle Kingdom then, I suppose. But then again,
because it's going to be Tanahashi.
Exactly. So what difference does it make? Yeah. But anyway, going back to who we may think could be the sixth member of LIJ. The favourite, the bookie's favourite.
The bookie's favourite.
Let's talk about how he is now returns to pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Pac is back.
Pac is back.
Pac is back. Otherwise known as Neville, who made a surprise return to professional wrestling on Tuesday morning for a promotion that he's very familiar with. I love the fact that, first of all, before we get into the story, nobody talked about Dragon's Gate at all. Ever on Twitter. I saw nobody. I don't know if maybe people knew about it, but as soon as
if they knew about it, they're so lying.
As soon as Pac came back, everybody was an expert in Dragon Gate. Everybody.
I know little to nothing about it. I'm happy to admit that, lads. Let's be honest with ourselves.
But after nearly a year of speculation about his status, Neville, going by his old in-ring name Pac, and wrestling as part of the Red Stable, teamed with Ita to defeat Shingo Takagi and BXB Hulk in the main event of Dragon Gate show at Kurgan Hall in Tokyo, Japan. It was announced that Neville would be wrestling in a 4-team tag match at the promotion show at Kurgan Hall on November 6th. Prior to today's return, Neville had stayed out of public eye since his last appearance for WWE in October 2017. In August of this year, WWE confirmed that Neville was no longer under contract with them. Neville debuted for Dragon Gate in 2007 and then departed for the promotion when he signed with WWE in 2012.
See, the thing is, we were playing with the idea that he wasn't going to be wrestling periods when we talked about this last week. So this is a shock. And
way to make us look stupid there, Pac. Well done.
What can I say?
Well done.
But certainly I'm not familiar with his backgrounds, outside of maybe the UK.
Yeah.
Or certainly Ireland. He has wrestled for No Limits Wrestling back in the day.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Irish Whip. I'm not even sure. But whatever the case, I had zero to no idea about his background in Japan.
Yeah.
So, and anyone who says it does is lying, or at least they had no. Because the thing is, I think because he's Neville and he was certainly over the last couple of years one of the best cruiserweights there is going, bar none. You think straight away, well, get him to New Japan. Where else would you want to go? But he goes back to his roots, and that's not a bad thing.
Exactly.
And
he knows himself anyway. He's smart enough to know himself that everybody wants to appease him.
Yeah, and
everybody. He can go wherever he wants.
Yeah, and what's cool about it is that if he does feel maybe he needs to re-energize the batteries, find why he likes wrestling, go back to what made you want to do it, or a place that you feel at home, and it feels awesome doing that.
Actually, there we go. We talked about it in the OTT review of the fan appreciation night. We were saying that they need a certain Angel Cruisers need a tag team partner.
That'll be the day. That'll be the day.
That'll be great.
That'll be the day.
That'll be great. Did you see Walter's tweet?
No.
After Pac came back, and it was very interesting because now this is not a match I thought I'd want to see, but now it is. He says, I really enjoy seeing Pac making his first appearance after WWE in Dragon Gate instead of the obvious other companies. Don't forget who worked with you when no one wanted to work with you. Hands up emoji.
Interesting. So yeah, get that done, lads. There's so many places he's champion as well, so why not? We'll move on in the meantime. Gone back to Cody that we talked about in the Fighting Spirit Unleashed and setting up that match for King of Pro Wrestling. A new stipulation has been added to his NWA World Heavyweight title rematch against Nick Aldis at the NWA's 70th anniversary show. During last Friday's Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor event, Nick Aldis was on commentary for the co-main event, which featured Bullet Club members, including Cody, squaring off against members of Chaos in a 10-man tag. During the bout, the title match was brought up, and Aldis challenged Cody to a 2-out-3 falls match, and once the match ended, Cody found out about the stipulation and accepted. Aldis won the rights to face Cody after defeating Doug Williams in a number 1 contendership match during Wrestling MediaCon weekend earlier this month. Of course, Almas lost the title back in All In on September 1st. And the NWA 70th anniversary show will take place on October 21st at the Nashville Fairgrounds in Tennessee. Both Tony Schiavone and Jim Cornette have been announced for the show and will call the main event. So it's interesting. It's a match though, like, you know, it's cool how the NWA are sort of getting back into the curiosity of wrestling fans at the moment, and in a way, like, they're almost they're putting all the keys, if you like, or all the everything they have almost in the title, which is what you want, and that's what any pro wrestling promotion would probably want to do, like, you know. If not sad.
Exactly.
No, well, in that case, we'll move on. Some really big news for us. Going back to Ring of Honor.
Sorry, it was just the 2 out of 3 falls match. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. You know, it's okay. It probably might be a decent match. I think. Does it have the legs in it to go 2 out of 3 falls? They're gonna need to do something different.
Why not?
Yeah, we'll see though.
We'll see. Well, let's talk about, going back to Ring of Honor, let's talk about a Ring of Honor star that's going to WWE.
Yeah, Punishment Martinez is heading to WWE after finishing at Ring of Honor, where he dropped the Ring of Honor television title to Jeff Cobb in his final night with the company. Martinez, who was 36, started wrestling in 2004 and trained at the Monster Factory in New Jersey. Appropriate name for him anyway. After wrestling a few dark matches the previous year, he returned to promotion to compete for the 2016 Ring of Honor Top Prospect Tournament, losing to Leo Rush in the semi-finals. He signed with the promotion shortly after the tournament and aligned himself with Kevin Sullivan and BJ Whitmer. He also competed at last year's Honor Rising show and competed against Jay White for the IWGP United States title during this year's War of the Worlds tour. He defeated Silas Young for the television title back in June.
I can't think of a guy, certainly, and we look at maybe certainly not only guy, because he can wrestle. I've seen him wrestle. He's actually very, very good for his size. Like, you know, for me, he's like Baron Corbin times 10. He reminds me of Corbin, but he's 10 times scarier and 10 times a better wrestler.
Better hairline.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting that he's talking about, because his contract finished with Ring of Honor, so he could go wherever he wants.
Yeah.
Have you seen the latest Being the Elite episode?
Not yet, actually, no.
Okay. This won't spoil it.
No, that's fine. Just tell me.
They're making reference in their show about because, you know, they have a hook for their thing, that there's always an ongoing storyline for their BTE, like you could say seasons, because this is the start of a new season.
Yeah,
all in finished. The hook is because they keep mentioning, and they mentioned in the last one as well, that their contracts are up soon.
Okay.
So Nick has this, throughout the episode, he has this noise in his head. Is it Nick? No, it's Matt, sorry.
Yeah.
It's not Nick, it's Matt. And now I remember my way of trying to figure out who's who. Did I ever tell you? I told you that, didn't I?
One has a bandana that he can't seem to take off.
No. Matt is the one that has the sideburns.
Right.
And Nick doesn't have the sideburns because someone nicked his sideburns. So that's how I remember. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Matt has a clock, like, a tick tock,
right,
tick tock. And then at the end of the episode, he sees. Does he get a present or something? He gets a package, I think it is. And it's just a countdown timer of 2 months, whatever days, whatever hours. That's how long I think is left on that contract. So I think that's going to be the hook for their next few episodes and over the next couple of weeks, where they're going to sign, who they're going to sign with. So it could be an interesting couple of months.
Can you realistically see them come to WWE? No. It's all a tease.
No. Unless WWE break protocol and give them full reign on whatever they want to do.
Pretty much.
I don't see it happening.
They're too big. Well, none of them will be gone to the NXT. They can't.
They go straight main roster. They will not go to NXT.
100%.
Yeah.
So, imagine how interesting it would be if Cody. Imagine if the whole thing with the Shield and Braun and Drew and Dolph, you have Young Bucks and Cody in the mix straight away. I'm like, yeah, well, we wrestled in an arena with more people than this,
yeah,
and we did it all ourselves, like,
exactly. exactly.
Yeah, so
I think like they mentioned it as well. Like after having that, it was on his phone. Sorry, it wasn't on his. It wasn't a package. That's where he saw the clicking.
the studios aren't back, are they?
No,
Okay,
no.
good.
But
I'm listening.
Hangman, and by the way, if you haven't watched it and you don't want spoilers, don't listen anymore
Yep.
to this part, not to the show in general. Sorry.
No elevator music for this.
Hangman got a delivery
Okay.
of a new set of boots,
Okay.
and on the message, which was brilliant,
Okay.
I love the message. It said that, hold on, I'm going to get it up right here. I have it right here. 1 second there.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. 1 second. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. So he goes, nice try. If you want to be an assassin, you've got to be more cerebral. H.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's just taunting. That's why you want to watch it. You can't help but watch it because of stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to see what happens. I've been meaning to watch it, as I said. Like the weeks are getting busier for me lately, you know yourself. But but no, we'll watch it for sure, and I'll see what you mean. On that note, let's move on now to our previews of the week.
Why, look at what we have here, folks!
So it's mainly just over the top wrestling. We have a lot of events coming up over the next while, but we're going to first off talk about this Saturday, where Edge will be making his appearance for Inside the Ropes.
No.
No?
No, he won't.
What happens?
It got cancelled,
Both shows.
unfortunately.
Oh, no.
I think it was Edge's brother-in-law or father-in-law passed away,
Oh, okay.
and the funeral is this weekend.
So Beth Phoenix's brother.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
So, unfortunately, they've had to reschedule it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, away from that then, we'll talk about Over the Top Wrestling, who only next week have their 4-year anniversary happening in the National Stadium.
Can't wait for
Oh
that
my
show.
God.
Like, I'm excited, but I've never seen you more excited to see a show, to see a wrestler in Naito than anyone
Oh
before.
my God. Like, the next one was probably what? Omega.
Yeah.
On the first show. But like again, tickets are still very limited. Tickets I think at this stage are available at eventbrite.ie.
Yeah.
The match is announced, and this is what we got so far. We have the Angel Cruisers, who we now know will take on the Gym Nasties in a 6-man tag. We don't know what the mystery partner is yet for the Angel Cruisers. We can speculate. We guessed Joe Coffey or Tyler Bates during the OTT review.
And now we realise that Pac isn't nailed on for.
We also know that Morton Hype, Darren Carney and Nathan Martin will challenge the Kings of North for the tag
It
team
was his
titles.
father-in-law, sorry, not his brother.
Oh, okay.
Passed away suddenly. Yeah.
Right, well, our condolences go out to Beth Phoenix and Edge at this time.
Yeah.
All of the matches announced. Obviously, we know now that Raven Creeds will be included in the Fatal 5-Way for the OTT Gender Neutral title, where LJ Cleary will also be defending the title against Mr. Juicy, Paddy M and Rocky Romero. You have Sean Guinness and Hiroki Goto against Satoshi Kojima and Michael May in a tag team match. Scotty Davis will take on Mark Davis from Aussie Open. Kushida will take on Tomohiro Ishii. Probably a match I'm looking forward to, as you can tell. Tetsuya Naito, Evil, and Sanada from Los Ingobernables de Japan will take on the team of Shane Strickland, Flamito, and Bandito. That's actually... LIJ is obviously a lot to look forward to as it is.
Yeah.
But taking on Flamito and Bandito, who are making such a tear around the indies at the moment.
Yeah.
All over the world, not just in America, but in Europe as well.
Exactly. So much so that the bigger promotions are looking at them now. So it's going to be a fantastic match.
It is indeed.
It's going to be a fantastic match.
Minoru Suzuki will take on Timothy Thatcher 1-on-1. That's a class match too. And Walter against Will Ospreay for the
Minoru
OTT World
Suzuki
title.
against Timothy Thatcher is going to be a war, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that match. That was the first match announced, on the whole card.
Yeah. Because it's two. It's like, can you think of any? It's probably two of the most intense wrestlers going.
Yeah.
Or but also technically very good as well. Like, you know, and also Walter defending the OTT World title against Will Ospreay. That's a class match as well. Like, there's so much to look forward to. It's such
Unfortunately, no sign of Jordan, but
that we know of.
That we know of. That's what I was going to say.
Probably challenge the winner straight away. Could easily do that. The very next night, OTT will be having their Defiant 2 cards happening on Sunday, October 14th in the Tivoli Theatre, Dublin. There's still tickets available on eventbrite.ie. There's 2 pre-show matches. Obviously, we mentioned before, Shane Strickland will take on Bandito 1-on-1. Just announced now is Curtis Murray to take on Terry Thatcher for the NLW title.
Yeah.
After his win at the Fan Appreciation Night. The main card matches include Kaylee Ray to take on Jordan Grace, Emi Kazuak to take on Command Bolshoi, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Viper to take on Valkyrie. That's going to be a hell of a match, that is. Yeah. Katie Harvey to take on Jetta 1-on-1. And a tag team match, Amy Alonzi and Debbie Cattell to take on Casey Owens and Lana Austin. Sami Jane has yet to be announced, the OTT Women's Champion in that as well, but she is announced for the card as
She'll
well.
Be defending her title.
Yeah, so maybe it's matches. It could be similar to what
one
they did.
One of them will lead to like a number 1 contender match or something like that.
Yeah, they could do something like they did for the last Defiant show, where they had 3 matches that were contenders matches to be on this main match.
Yeah.
And then we'll challenge Sami Jane in the Fatal 4-Way or something like that. So have to see what happens there. Also, OTT have announced a live at the Wexford Spiegel tent, an all-ages show happening on Sunday, October 21st. You get your tickets at wexfordspiegeltent.ticketsoft.com. Only one match announced so far. Charlie Sterling will take on Jordan Devlin 1-on-1. Debbie Cattell, Sean Guinness, Scotty Davis, Curtis Murray, Darren Carney, LG Cleary are all set to appear on that one too. But that's our previews of the week. When we return, from our break, we will talk about all of the week's action with our results of the week right after this short break.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Oh my God! So close! He kicked out! He kicked out! He kicked out!
Tune in to The Kickout, your weekly pro wrestling guides, right here on 90.3 Near FM, covering all the latest news, results, previews, rumours, and more from the world of professional wrestling, as well as covering the wrestling scene right here in Ireland. Join us every Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. right here on 90.3 Near FM.
In the future, roving bands of comic book podcasts will savage the wasteland, once known as the Internet. One podcast, the Grolix Podcast, may not be the biggest, may not be the funniest, may not be the most well-spoken. Wait, what was my point again? Oh yes, the Grolix Podcast. Listen to it at grolixpodcast.com. That's GRAWLIX podcast.com.
We're back here on The Kickout, your weekly pro wrestling guides. Now, before we move on, we're just going to tell you guys about a bit of a change of plan now we're going to be doing with when we're talking about the week's wrestling from future. Now, over the last while, almost forever, since we've God knows how long now, we just sort of talk about everything, certainly in WWE and stuff like that, but we decided to have a bit of a change now. So rather than just talking about just every bit and piece, because quite frankly, like even the most hardcore fan can admit that it can be a bit of a chore to watch and talk about everything.
Yeah.
Like, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what we feel as our top 10 moments of the entire week. So and it's just in general, it could be good, it could be bad, it's what we feel are the main talking points of it. So when we feel that's the best thing for both of us, ain't that right there?
I think so. I think I hate to say it, but time wise I think it's a lot better as well.
Plus it helps us elaborate more on all the talking points of the week as well. So and it's not just WWE we're talking about this week, so we'll get quite straight to it. We're going to start off now with our top 10 of the week. Oh, I love that new team as well. Listen to it for a second. It sounds like a punk version of Triple H's team. Until it kicks in. Yeah, but you so want to say time to play the game at the start of it, like, you know. Yeah. But anyway, we'll get to it now. So in at number 10 is the Mixed Match Challenge. Now, you haven't got a chance to see this yourself, have you?
No.
Right, well, all of the matches are worth watching, but 3 of them in particular. So at the moment now, the second round has started now for the Mixed Match Challenge now. So they had the first 4 matches of it now. So you had Tony Storm taking on Hiroyo Matsumoto, which is a really good back and forth match with Matsumoto more or less dominating. She's like a much bigger wrestler. She calls herself Lady Godzilla. That's her nickname, which I think is class. And it's Storm who's showing her survival instincts, like coming up with a big win. It was a very good match in the end. So it was Tony who after taking like 3 Rainmakers, sort of clotheslines, got into like a bridging cradle, similar to like how Zack Sabre Jr. would win.
It's something I just find difficult to watch, and it's why I really can't watch NXT on a week-to-week basis as well. It's just when it's all pre-taped and everything, and I know what's going on. It's a lot difficult. It's a lot more difficult to get invested or stay invested.
Yeah,
but I will watch the matches eventually.
100%.
It's just I'm not too hung up on watching week to week.
Yeah. Rhea Ripley took on Katzazaro, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Again, that's like a proper David and Goliath match, similar to what Katsi had before, because she's like only 5'0" and 100 pounds. She's easily the smallest wrestler in the whole tournament, but by God, she's really good. Her gym background really shows in it, like, you know. So she's definitely has a lot of potential for sure, because she's very young, you know. I think she's like in her early 20s as well. But it's Rhea Ripley's time. Like she got the despite Katzazano putting up a good fight, like she just cut her off in here with a reptile powerbomb in a very good match. Yeah, Lacey Lane taking on Tainara Conte. It was a really quick match actually. Like it was only 3 minutes long, but sometimes you need a short match in the tournament, I guess. So I'm okay with that. So, but easily the match of the tournament so far, and for me one of the matches of the week, probably the match of the week actually, is Mirko Satomura taking on Mercedes Martinez. Great match because it's the 2 most experienced wrestlers in the tournaments. Yeah, and you get the sense they know what they're doing and they know when to do it. And the pace was spot on. The drama down the line was very good, and it was a great match. Like it ended when there's so many good near falls, especially the Fisherman Buster from Martinez. She was literally this close to winning, but in the end, it was when Martinez was looking for the Romero special, Satomura's elbow hit the spin kick and hit that scorpion kick that you've seen against Nathan Martin to finish her off, and that was that. So they both showed the respect afterwards. It was really, really good. So definitely a lot of good matches to check out this week. Anyway, in at number 9, we're going to go to something else that you haven't really checked, and that was NXT. Yeah. No. It was a good week, but I want to talk about Tony Nese and Johnny Gargano, which again, another really good match this week. Now, Tony Nese obviously is more known for being 205 Live. This is, I believe, is actually his first or second match ever in NXT. But it's a really good match, and Tony Nese gave Gargano a match, because more to the point, I think it helped Gargano overcome and get back in the winning side of things, because he's fallen short lately to Ciampa and Velveteen Dream, and it's finally gotten back in the winning track side of things, which I think is needed now for that sort of match, right? Because Nese had like a 450 at one stage and was diving left, right and centre, but in the end it was Gargano who hit the desperation super kick, clothesline, and the Gargano special escape finisher for that. So but it was a good tough win for him, and it almost shows like he's finally back to himself. But you look at Tony Nese and you see what he's capable of. It's such a shame because he's such a good wrestler, and he's very, very talented, but there's no clear vision for him at the moment.
Yeah, underrated.
Very underrated. So I actually wouldn't mind if he's in NXT, because maybe he'd get a bigger push than he would ever get in 205 Live at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I remember when the Cruiserweight tournament was on, Cruiserweight Classic, and he was one that did stand out for me for sure. So it's kind of a shame that like his ability isn't being harnessed. There's been a few times where he's been gotten a slight maybe repackage or something like that, but you think it's the start of a push, but it's never happened. So hopefully something does happen with him soon, because you'd like to see him more.
Absolutely.
Push a little more.
Absolutely, yeah. So we'll see what happens there. In number 8 is the Mixed Match Challenge. Actually, this was actually supposed to be number 10. We got mixed up already. You can tell we're still getting used to it.
Damn it, Dave!
I know. There's only one thing I want to bring up with the Mixed Match Challenge.
Rikishi.
Yes, well...
Rikishi, almost a Rikishi.
Well, in general, that match between Lana and Rusev against Jimmy Uso and Naomi... Now, there's a bit of tension between Lana and Rusev. We'll get onto that a bit later on this. We anyone who saw SmackDown would know what happens. But it was literally a dance-off. Yeah. Not after True TV last week, I can't help but love a dance-off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you love a dance off. I kind of wish maybe they did a few moves, maybe the little shuffle to the left, the little shuffle to the right, and then maybe a matchka kick. But hey,
but the scene when Rusev, when Jimmy gave the sunglasses to Rusev, as he was Rikishi, but then kicked him in the side of the head just as he was about to get into the dance. You were waiting for two cool teams to come on,
exactly.
But no, kick to the heads. But it was a very good match. It was Jimmy who gave Lana a distraction over a certain thing we'll talk about later, and that helped Naomi roll him up for the win. That was a good match. So to keep up on scratch, the way they're doing the mixed match challenge, they're having like a score system. It's like a league or something like that, rather than like round robin like that before.
There's like groups and stuff like that, which I like. Yeah,
it's interesting. So next week we're going to have Braun and Ember Moon take on Bayley and Finn, and then Carmella and Truth will take on Charlotte and AJ. So we'll see what happens on that occasion there. Anyway, in at number 7, this one I think you can finally talk about. The Shield against Braun, Drew and Dolph.
I can talk about all of it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but you've seen this one, I mean.
I can talk about anything I want to talk about.
You've seen this is what I mean.
How dare you?
Just go on with it.
Yeah, more trying to turn Dean this week on Raw. He had a interview at the start of Raw to open up with Charlie Caruso. Sorry, Renee.
Being so sarcastic. That's because she's in commentary.
She's probably saying under her breath, "Don't you dare look at my man! Don't you dare! How dare you ask him questions?" But anyway,
she doesn't seem like the other's type.
But Dean admitted that he could be being used. Maybe he was a champion before he got injured. So they're playing it right. I think they're making it a little too obvious. The people think it's going to happen this weekend.
Yeah.
Now, by the time you listen to this, you'll know whether or not it actually did happen. I don't think it did.
No. We won't predict it now.
It is definitely in the books for sure. It is going to happen.
Do you really think so?
I think not soon. Soonish. Yeah. For sure.
I just think, like, here's the thing. Ambrose is easily the hardest person to read in the Shields. Like, you can't really tell if he's being sarcastic or not.
Yeah.
Which I'm not a big fan of people like that, to be honest with you. Like, that's another story. But like he like in the day, he says these things for a reason. He said the Shield's not a brand, it's a brotherhood. He'll always ride by. I think he just means it to tease or to get like a kick out of it. He seems like that type of guy all the time. Even if you go back to the original Shield back in the day, he was always like that. He was always a bit sarcastic now and then. Yeah. He was always asked the tough questions rather sarcastically. He's always been like that. He's always been the entertaining on.
He's never said the sort of stuff he said backstage to Roman and Seth, talking about how he could be Universal Champion or he could be Intercontinental Champion right now. So there's definitely some stuff in there. He's not totally happy, but he knows not to rock the boat just yet.
Ambrose took on Braun Strowman one-on-one. It was actually right in the mix at one stage. Here's another reason why he might be frustrated though. Roman Reigns came out to help him. And even though he's probably going to lose the match because he got
cost him the match, he didn't help him. He got
cost him the match with the DQ. And then later on, Reigns took on Dolph, but we beat him pretty much clean. And then Drew took on Rollins, which was a distraction from Dolph, which cost Rollins the match with a Claymore finish.
Yeah.
And then they beat him down afterwards, and leads to anticipation for the Super Showdown. He's still sticking with still sticking with the Shield to win.
Yeah.
I'm going Braun and Drew and Dolph.
No, I'm gonna go Dave. I'm gonna go with Shield.
Okay.
Stick it with Shield, man.
Okay. In that number 6 is the Brothers of Destruction against HBK and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Or HBK and Triple H.
Setting up for a match of Survivor Series or at the that Crown Jewel over in. I think I'm more against this one than I was the last one, which is weird. Yeah, because it comes right on the heels of. I think it's like 2 or 3 weeks after Evolution.
It's all about the money.
But no, it's not that. It's just taking the moment away from the females in WWE. I said it last week. They had the chance to give them their own thing, to make it their own show. But now the real reason was they're putting this show on because they're going back to Saudi Arabia. That's the only reason.
I don't think it's the only reason.
It is.
It's not.
It is.
Nah,
there was so much outrage at the last one that there was no women on, and they can't force the Saudi government to allow.
It's against their culture. Full stop.
You know what? F their culture. Why'd you go there then?
To entertain the fans there, but they have to respect their culture.
No. Sorry, they don't go there to entertain their fans. You gave me the symbol of why they would go there just a few seconds ago.
What are you talking about?
Money.
Yeah, that's the reason why WWE going, because they're a very profitable country to make go to events like that, and they have to adjust to that.
Yeah, so they'll sacrifice half. They'll basically alienate a vast proportion.
It's not meant as alienation.
But if it's not, they know. They knew what they'd have to do if they wanted to put on shows there, and they've done one already, and they're going back again. They're going to go there 3 times a year.
Well, I don't know.
Here's the thing. Okay, right. Here's
well, if that's the case, when
I'm gonna throw out this hypothetical question your way, and let me see what you think. Okay.
All right.
If WWE had not signed their 10-year deal with Saudi Arabia to go there 3 times a year to do pay-per-views, would they have done an all-female pay-per-view?
I don't think so.
Exactly. There you go.
So repeat that question. I must have misheard you. Sorry.
If WWE had decided to not get into this partnership with Saudi Arabia, to go there 2 or 3 times a year to do their pay-per-views or special events, would we be seeing Evolution in a couple of weeks?
So what you're saying? So what you're saying?
So what I'm saying is.
So do you think Evolution would not be a thing if it wasn't for Greatest Royal Rumble? What you're trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. No, I haven't thought about it.
Yeah.
I think it always would have been.
They're not giving the women. No, I'm happy that it's going to be an all-female show. Well, first of all, don't get me wrong on that. But I'm not happy at the reason why it's coming. It's not because and they can hide behind this reason all they want. They're not doing it because females are taking over the game. They're not doing that. It's not like, say, an OTT where they have the roster there and they're going to do it. They're doing this because they can't bring them over to Saudi Arabia, and they're trying to get away from that negative PR. That's all they're trying to do.
Well, wouldn't it be a bad thing then if they had to balance it out with more women pay-per-view, all-female pay-per-views? Then wouldn't it be?
Yes.
If that's the case,
I think but see, that's why I kind of have a problem with it, because you can't just have these on despite, just to keep them happy. You want to do this because you actually believe in them, not because you want to keep them happy.
I think you have a point in the sense that it's probably a factor in why they would have it, but it's surely not the only reason. In my opinion, it can't be. Like, it's been happening.
I do agree with you.
The women's evolution has been building for years. It was overdue.
I do agree with you. If they didn't think they had the talent,
possibly it's a coincidence.
They wouldn't do it.
It's a coincidence way I see it.
I don't think there's no such thing as coincidence in business. No such thing.
If you think that
no way.
Well, we can agree. Listen, we can agree to disagree all we like with this. We could talk all day about this. Now, going back to Shawn Michaels and Triple H and Brothers of Destruction. So again,
we were talking about that.
Yeah, we're off topic completely because you were talking about how how crappy.
I'm hot, Dave. I'm just hot about the topic.
I'm not even drinking Monster today. That's the worst part.
Oh, I had a can for lunch today.
But anyway, so it's just set up for the match where Shawn Michaels said that he'll always stand by his best friend, like despite his respect for the Undertaker. And he warned if Kane or anyone got involved, he pushed him aside with Sweet Chin Music. Out came Kane, attacked him from behind. Dong came out. The Dong played Undertaker. Looked like he was going to tombstone Shawn Michaels, and Triple H came out. Big brawl happened until double choke slams, tombstone on Triple H. They all belts. But the big talking point is bald HBK.
I know, right?
It's so weird, isn't it?
So weird. I don't know what to think of it. And the whole the black bandana around to keep the hat in place as well.
It works, to be fair. But that's what it is anyway. But anyway, moving on. In at number 5,
he kept talking about God as well during his promo.
What do you expect? He's a religious man.
I know.
In at number 5, one for Ring of Honor now. Jay Lethal against Will Ospreay. This was the main event for Death of Disorder. This was Death Before Disorder. This was a fantastic match.
Yeah.
Because you see, we don't see too many heel sides of Will Ospreay. When you get a chance to watch this match, check out how heelish that Will Ospreay is, almost because many have questions like Jay Lethal having a second run as Ring of Honor World Champion, but he's living big time on it, because he's way more than just doing the Black Machismo gimmick, which although is brilliant to watch, it's not. I appreciate him so much more as a wrestler, so much at the moment, so. And it was both delivered big time. It's a more serious style to Ospreay, which, by the way, there is rumours about him moving up to heavyweights in New Japan. Did you hear about this? Yeah.
No.
There you go, because
he's only 5 pounds or something off.
Exactly. So there's speculation that he could be moving up to heavyweight in New Japan.
I'm not surprised by,
and therefore doing a test run here in Ring of Honor.
I'm not. I was just going to say, I'm not surprised with Ospreay and his heelish techniques, because I remember he was quite a good heel. First of all, when WCPW were there, and then if you remember the last Stadium show, he was against Matt Riddle, and he was the heel in that, and his heel tendencies were actually quite good in that match as well. So
he was heel a bit for Progress as well. So
yeah.
There you go. Anyway, the match ended when Ospreay looked for a super random, but Jay hit the powerbomb and lethal injection for the win. There's so many teases of using the belts before hitting the flurry of kicks as well, so it was really good. So anyway, in the meantime, in number 4, One Night in Milwaukee.
Yes.
Is something really going on, or does something really happen between Aiden English and Lana?
No.
What do you think she was going to say after I Want You?
To leave Rusev alone.
That's really what it is?
Yeah.
So what happened was...
It wasn't even a good edit. It was a terrible edit. Absolutely terrible. Can I break kayfabe for a sec?
Oh, if you want.
Obviously this was pre-taped. Obviously during the week and stuff like that. They weren't in...
No, you told me, but...
They weren't in Milwaukee and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
But you think they would have told Lana, will you make a bit of a longer gap before you say, I want you, and then the next sentence, so then we can make a decent edit? But they didn't do that.
But the fact that a pause is a good tease regardless of the edits as well.
I know. But if you were to just say, I want you, have a gap, then it's a viable pause, and that you think that's the end of the video. But then, if you then the full video comes out like, I want you to stay away from Rusev.
That said, this whole thing makes me want to watch SmackDown. You like a sort of a... you can't help, because of the whole world today of all this tabloid stuff and all this he says, she says stuff, you see all this gossip, but you can't help but be compelled sometimes, as much as you want to avoid it, so where the TMZ finds out or not, we'll have to wait and see. It's a cliffhanger, and you like a cliffhanger, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, in at number 3, Becky versus Charlotte. Here's Becky now, who is being as much big as heel as she possibly can, and she still gets cheers.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing. She's so beloved as a heel right now.
WWE are trying, I think, a little too hard with her.
You think so? Listen to what she's saying to herself.
No, just because last week she chased after Charlotte.
Right.
Well, why do you need to chase after her when you're the champ? And you beat her.
Proving the point as the champion. I think she's one of these champions who just likes pushing her weight around. It's very similar to what Neville was like when he was cruiserweight champion.
True.
You know, in the way, and she said it herself when she talked about it, how nothing gets you anywhere being kind and patient, and how she strikes first and strikes often. Yeah. And that's her approach, and that's the way to go. And she said all these things like she's the best thing on SmackDown, the most relevant thing in all of WWE, and she still got popped. And in fact, it's not about Triple H and Taker, it's about her. And I got a massive pop. I got into a huge brawl then where Charlotte ended up finger eighting Ting out of the ring, or from into the apron, and got booed out of the building for that, literally. So it's interesting to see what will happen from here anyway. So in number 2, we're going to talk about Fighting Spirit Unleashed. Now, this was the New Japan card that happened over in the United States last weekend. So we're just going to have a quick rundown of the matches, because there's really, really good matches, as we mentioned at the top of the news. Obviously, Skrull and Ospreay always have a fantastic match. There's never a bad match between those two. And now it'll be Skrull who will take on Kushida for the junior heavyweight title next week. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. You had GOD are now back as tag team champions, defeating the Young Bucks.
Good.
Now, the Guerrillas of Destiny, I heard, are getting a bit of stick sometimes for their match style, and certainly the way they go about their business. Certainly Tamatonga, the way he he doesn't give a damn almost in the G1. This was one clean, and it was such a good match, and it changes. They have the World Tag League coming up, for example, so it changes the landscape and it really picks up the rivalry as well. So so it's a really good match. I encourage you to check that out. Of course, Cody is now US champion as well, going into his rematch with Nick Aldis, so he's now a double champion at the moment, beating Juice Robinson for the title. And as we mentioned, Ishii and Okada were beaten by Omega and Ibushi. Really good match. It's interesting to see about the whole dynamic now between everything, especially there's a bit of tension apparently between Okada and Omega and Ibushi, but we'll see what happens. But it'll be interesting to see what this triple threat match is going to be like. If it's just going to be a simple match like it was, or a simple but tremendous match that was like in the G1, or see what goes from there. So we'll have to go and further that. But in at number one, there's only it's only there because of the heats. The heat always gets number one, and boy, did this get heats. And it's rare, you ever expect, of all the wrestling we saw this week, or that was on this week,
this was not something that I thought would get that much heat.
But
this must be a really, really salty issue.
It must be. We don't know. Again, we don't know much about the situation about it. But anyway, so it was a promo that Elias and Kevin Owens did in Seattle during the usual shtick that Elias does. And he said a promo. He mentioned how East Seattle doesn't have a basketball team anymore. And by God, when was the last time you heard a boo that loud or
I've
for that
never
long?
heard something like that.
Apparently, someone tweeted that it was the longest in 20-something years.
Yeah.
Or certainly the longest in the history of Raw.
Yeah. Which
is saying something. The history of Raw.
Almost as loud as the night after WrestleMania 31 when Roman won the title.
It's not far away.
Yeah.
If anything, it's probably more.
It's, for sure.
So it's really something else. But, you love when... I can't help but love when something like that happens.
Oh, that's what he's there to do. He's there to get heat. He did his job.
Yeah.
And he did a great job.
Oh my God.
I bet Vince loved it.
Seattle was ready to riot. Ready to riot.
Yeah.
It's not even worth mentioning what happened in the match or Leo Rush or anything like that.
Oh, no. Just that.
That was it.
Just that.
That would be said.
That is definitely the top moment of the week.
100%. This top 10 thing is class.
I like this top 10.
Yeah. It's flowing nicely. So we'll continue doing this in future and from here. And then in the meantime, let's finish off our show now with our yes-nos. So there's only a handful of yes-nos this week, so we'll get into them very quickly. First of all, Batista to return at SmackDown 1000.
Already been confirmed, so yes.
As part of Evolution.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be a once-off thing then.
Can I give you a... Can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
This is my own yes-no.
Go for it.
You finish yours and then I'll give you mine.
You want yours to be last?
Yeah.
Alright, Grant. Maria Kanellis to return at Evolution.
I hope so. I miss her. I miss Mike. So
she's been cleared. She's been cleared now to wrestle after her injuries and all her commitments now. So
commitment of having a child.
Yeah, exactly. so what better place than to return to Evolution, I suppose. Then
I'd love that.
Cesaro.
Well, she doesn't really compete, so maybe
stick to a valet for Mike Kanellis.
But he won't be obviously at Evolution anyway. So.
Oh, we'll see. You never know. She could be cleared to wrestle. That's what I mean. So we'll have to see what happens.
We'll see anyway. She might make an appearance.
Cesaro to return to NXT.
No.
There's rumours that he was involved in some dark match. It wasn't
a dark. It was a live match.
It was a live match, yeah.
And he helped Chris Hero, his former tag team partner, on the Indies. Yeah. They were the Kings of Pro Wrestling.
Kings of Pro Wrestling, yeah.
It was because that week Chris Hero was celebrating his 20th year in professional wrestling.
Okay.
That's why they did it.
Okay.
He's not going to NXT anymore.
Okay, great. Pac, as we now address him. Pac to now, as we know, to join New Japan. And if he does, to join LIJ.
I do. I want to say yes because I want it to happen.
Right.
But now that I'm thinking about something like Pentagon or something like that more and more, I'm thinking it could be him.
I'll be well up for
Pentagon rocking up with his mask, face paint, and a suit beside Bushi.
That'd be a moment.
Come on.
Yeah, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't want that?
Like, I can't see Neville rocking in. Look, he doesn't necessarily have to be in a suit, but
Can you imagine him with a suit with his messy hair and beard?
Mixing with his chemistry mixing with the other members of LIJ. That's not what their stable's about.
Exactly.
So I can't see it.
I can see him definitely being in Japan.
I could see him in like a chaos. I could see him in a chaos.
If he's sticking with heel, no. If any,
well, it depends on who he's going to be.
If any promotion, if any Sabre looking to join, it would be Suzuki Gun.
Suzuki Gun be a good one. Him and Zack Sabre Jr. together.
Enough said. Finally, Kurt Angle to return at Survivor Series. Now I bring this up because there's rumours.
Yeah, Team Angle against Team Corbin.
Yes, which is a great idea.
Yeah,
I think, especially considering the rivalries at the moment. Yeah,
for control. Yes. I think so. Survivor Series is meant to be one of the main four, and it's not getting much of a look in this year.
So, well, that's because there's
so much other stuff on around it.
That's the thing.
Because I think the Crown Jewel's on, I think, the week after or the week before.
So once Evolution's
Survivor
over,
Series.
then boom, we're right back into it.
But,
even Crown Jewel, who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, what was your question?
Okay. So, reports have suggested that for the third time, when WWE go back to Saudi Arabia, is a couple of weeks after WrestleMania. The Saudi government reportedly, or whoever's in charge of that, want The Rock to be there, and they want him as Universal Champion. Yes or no?
Well, here's the problem
Here
with that.
Is where you get into your problems now.
Yeah. Here's the problem with that. Now, I did this money
you
gesture.
Sacrifice?
Let me finish.
Okay, sorry.
This money gesture that I said earlier on, it really concerns me about this, because you know what?
Like
There's a strong possibility that could happen, unfortunately.
$30 million.
I'm going to say no, but unfortunately there's a very strong possibility it can.
I have to say no to believe that there's still some integrity in the way they book stuff over in WWE.
Yeah.
They cannot do that.
Oh, Vince.
Don't do that.
Don't want to do it. Just don't.
I don't care how much the Saudi government offer you.
You don't want to do it.
You can't alienate the majority of your fan base and your main storytelling, your main shows. You can't alienate them for a one-off show in Saudi Arabia to have The Rock as champion. As much as seeing The Rock in the ring would be cool,
and that wouldn't be bad to have him as champion, but don't make it the reason.
You could even have, like, the rumours is The Rock is actually going to go up against Roman Reigns for the title at WrestleMania.
At WrestleMania?
Yeah. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing that.
Okay.
But you can't have Rock win, because he's not going to be there. You're going to have another Brock on your hands.
Pretty much. Like, just leave The Rock to go for presents.
Yeah.
And on that...
he goes up against Kanye West.
Is that seriously the case?
Kanye West wants to be a Republican candidate, and The Rock wants to be a Democratic candidate.
On that concerning note, that's all the time we have this week on the Kickouts.
We finished with talking politics. Yeah.
Your weekly pro wrestling guides right here on 90.3 Near FM, the EMC Podcast Network, and all good podcasting providers. Make sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check out all our podcast content on iTunes, YouTube, Podbeam, and Spotify. Make sure to check my Twitter at Dave Bandana and Darzats.
Mars Bar.
That's us for the week. So, you know, this hot again, as I said before, the top 10 things class. Let's keep doing it. Here's your big smile on your face.
I just love the way you just love your own, like,
what?
You love your own section of the show.
Well, it's our section. We both all contribute together.
No. I'm not saying that. It's just like, oh, it doesn't matter.
Maybe you sound like such a dictator.
Half that word is right. And on that note, we shall speak to you next week, or maybe during the week. We don't know if we're actually going to still be doing a podcast after what I just said. It might just be Dave by himself because he's killed me with his tater.
On that note, that's all the time we have this week. I've been Dave Cullen. He's been Daragh Maher. This has been the Kickouts. Of course, I know you're joking. Your weekly pro wrestling guys. Thank you so much for listening. I know you do. Stay sound, lads.